G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action, doing another review for the Heavy Metallurgy. Tonight we're going to take a look at the third and final part of Aara's Triad Trilogy. We're going to take a look at Nyx. Aara are a Swiss three-piece who formed in 2018 and have released 5 full-lengths as well as a number of EPs and demos. Their very first album, So Fallen a la Temple, came out in 2019, instantly putting them amongst the Swiss black metal peers of Tardigrade and Darkspace. But the music of Aara is not as immediately dark and oppressive as either of those bands. Instead, you'll find much light in these tracks. 2020 saw the release of their sophomore album, Ergo Inai, which was in all ways an improvement over the debut. Some early Bluetooth Nord has crept into the sound, which is not unexpected given that the intro song was written by Vinzval of that band. But they also hone in on that cosmic chaos of a band like Mar Cognitum. In 2021, the band embarked upon a trilogy entitled Triad, based on the gothic novel Melmoth the Wanderer, penned by Charles Maternon in 1820. The first entry was entitled Eos. Again, refining their sound, Eos was quickly followed up in 2022 by the second part of the trilogy, Hemera. The third and the last album in the trilogy was released in April this year and it is entitled Nyx. All the song titles are in Swiss German, and as not to embarrass myself, I'll refer to them by their English translations for the most part. The first track, Haunted, starts with the ambient sounds of rain and horse hooves, with minimal guitar that reminds me of a peaceful 3-style Doom intro. But then it kicks in with furious melodic trem riffing over driving blasts and lots of China splashes. Scathing, patented Aara screech vocals come in as these blasts continue. The song then takes a turn for the headbang with a phrase of simple 4/4 pounding drums and loose riffs, finding speed again with the blinding double kicks and then returning to that initial fury that kicked off the track. Later, there's a section of fast tremolo guitar played without any percussion behind it. After 4 bars, the drums come in like thunder. This is a pattern that Aara finds themselves in quite often. On the previous album, Triad II, Hemera, it was a technique they employed quite frequently. I'm hesitant to use words like breakdown or the drop, but it's that calm before the storm, that period where the listener adjusts to anticipate that something big is coming. This song, like all on the album, is dripping with melody, layered perfectly within the fury of its riffs. There's a kinetic energy in Aara's music, and it is immediately evident from this opening track. The second track, Emphasis on Anguish, comes straight in at a blistering pace, with lead guitar playing again to an emotional melody. The riffs and drums swinging between blasts and fast double kicks, bridged again with simple patterns that anchor everything firm. The mix on this album is a perfect one for the style. It's a good decision to have the vocals not the forefront. We're dominated here by the lead guitar and the drums, definitely having the focal point. The break in the middle of this track in particular builds up the anticipation again so well. This time the guitars play a blizzard of lower notes, with the cymbal alone crashing in on the backbeat before again the rest of the band come back with full force. Last month I reviewed Haxanu's latest album, Totempass. There are definite similarities in styles between these two bands. Both play a modern style of melodic yet still devastating black metal that wins you over with the emotional strings that it pulls on you. These riffs pack a power that really stirs something within. The third track, Moribunda, starts with a dark, undistorted melody with minimal piano backing. When the fury comes in, and it does, we have our first experience of choral female vocals on the album. It's back in the mix, but a wonderful supporting layer that lifts the song immensely. The piano itself finds its way into the main verses of the song as well. The drumming on this track is quite diverse, and such a wide display of China. Drummer Yoshu Keiser's style reminds me heavily of Trim from Emperor or Maciej Kowalski from Ungwa. drummers that use a lot of cymbals in their playing styles. Side B opener Unstone, translating to unlucky, again kicks in at maximum speed, this time with riffs that border on the depressive. It has such a dark and sinister tone to it, and after a few bars is followed by passages of dark chanting, making it one of the most unnerving tracks on the album. This track returns to these dark chants multiple times, and as a complete entity, this song is similar to my favourite track from Triad II, Sonne der Nacht, where ethereal female vocals are brought to conclusion by percussive drops. This is the first time that I also hear ruins of Beveras-style darkness as well as percussion on Triad III. Unstone ups the frequency of head-nodding moments that finds the pocket of the groove, as well as the lead guitar going into solo territory for the first time, eclipsing all of the melody on the previous tracks. This is my highlight track on Triad III. The fifth track, The Wanderer's Dream, follows a similar style to the last. What really makes this track stand out is the pounding final third as the snare cracks the beat over swirling double kicks, with more choir singing to fill out the room. You cannot not headbang to this moment. It leads into a beautiful acoustic outro that sets us up for the final track. Ido et Adam comes in slow again with that My Dying Bride style picking, only briefly before the full musical onslaught of Aara is unleashed. Layered guitars at speed, drums at full pelt, the emotional lead taking us to the vocal line. The bridge riff in this song is the highlight on the entire album for me, an absolutely gorgeous piece of ascending and descending notes that trades off with the lead guitar. The track ends with a single chime of a bell that fades into nothingness. Triad III Nix is a phenomenal work, a superb representation of modern melodic black metal that does not forget the fury. The tone is warm and not clinical. The instruments are precise, but there is air to breathe. Last year's Triad II Hammerer made my top 10 albums of the year list, and while I won't say that Nix exceeds that album, it's certainly on par, meaning it will most likely appear in my list again this year. The album is available on CD, LP, and this special edition LP with slipcase from Debima Morty Productions. The latest album from Aara comes highly recommended from me, and I do hope you will all check it out. Hope you all enjoyed this review. If you did, please make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the other reviews on the heavy metallurgy from some of my colleagues and some other ones from myself. Make sure you check me out on Instagram and YouTube as Explosive Action. And thank you for watching.